So today's video is going to be a tutorial on this look that I have on my mug right now. I was actually going to film something completely different today. If you follow me on Snapchat or Instagram, I had a filming day. I hated the look, so I took a poll to find out what you guys would actually want to see. What you guys wanted to see was a full face of new products featuring the Natasha Denona palette, if you follow me on Snapchat. I explained that it was supposed to show up early in the morning. It just got here, so it's a little too late now. If you want, I will still do a tutorial using the Natasha Denona palette. I am very excited to play with it, but honestly, when I looked at it, I was like, I'm pretty sure the look that I'm going to create, everyone is tired of seeing me do, so you'll just have to let me know. Also, I use the new MakeupGeek highlighters in this video. I am absolutely in love with them. I want to do a full-blown review on the 4 that I have. I have dupes for them. I don't know. I want to make a video of it, but I don't want to do it if you guys don't want to see it, so leave me comments and fun facts down below about what you're kind of wanting to see from me these days, because I'm actually in this place where I have so many ideas for what I'm going to film, and I have so many new products coming in that I just am overwhelmed by the possibilities, basically. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really, just kidding. Stop, Whitney, stop. I've actually done this look so many times. I used to do it on clients all the time. I did it a lot last winter, and honestly I never posted it because when this pigment came out, this is Utopia by MakeupGeek on my lid, I feel like everyone did a smoky eye with it, and I was just like, man, nobody's gonna wanna see my version of it. But what I'm learning from you guys is that in fact you do wanna see my version of things, and you don't care if it's been done before, you wanna see me do it. So it's really getting my creative juices going to get out of this like little box I can stay inside within my head about content. So I'm a chatty Cathy today. Really, really sorry. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Please thumbs up the video if you do enjoy it. Check the down bar for links to all my social media platforms. Subscribe if you have not, and I'll catch you in the next one. Love you more than you will ever know. Bye. Stay sexy. Don't get murdered. Guys, I'm starting off with some concealer. I'm taking MAC Studio Fix, but any concealer will be fine. And then on a 212 brush from MAC, also, I'm just going to carve out the underside of my brow lightly. I'm really not using that much foundation, or excuse me, concealer super close to my brow, but I will drag it down just a little bit because it makes it a little bit easier to blend out without disturbing the work that I've laid down on my actual eyebrow itself. And then taking a 3D HD Precision brush from Sigma, I'm just going to soften the edges and blend the rest of that concealer into my skin. Then taking the MAC Painterly Paint Pot or any primer you have, I'm just going to slather that all over my naked little eyelid and then blend it out with my finger. I don't know why I'm talking in a British accent. I'm done now, I swear. Then I'm just going to set the rest of that lid with some loose translucent powder just to make sure it's not too sticky or tacky from the primer or concealer that we laid down. It can make blending a little bit difficult if you don't have a matte surface to lay your shadows on top of. I'm going to start off with MakeupGeek Peach Smoothie, and I'm going to take this on a Sigma E40 brush. It's the first brush I always go in with when I do my eyeshadow, and I'm just going to buff this up in my high crease, working some of it into the outer corner. I'm taking this all the way into my inner corner of my eye. I'm not really doing anything too perfect here. Just make sure you get it nice and soft and blended on that crease area. It's super important. Then I'm going to take Anastasia Beverly Hills Burnt Orange on a MAC 286 brush and take this a little bit lower than the Peach Smoothie. Once again, taking it all the way into the inner corner. We're taking this all the way into the inner corner because our lid is not neutral. When I have a neutral lid, I can be a lot more chill about that inner corner, but when I'm doing something that's not going to naturally and organically blend into my skin tone, I definitely have to make sure that I have some transition colors there on the inner corner of my eye so that it looks a lot more quote-unquote natural. Then I'm going to take MakeupGeek Cocoa Bear, and this is on a Sigma E25 brush. I'm going to put this in the crease a little bit lower than all the other colors, still taking it all the way into the inner corner. And every single time I lay down colors with a brush, I will go in with a bigger brush and soften it up and blend it out to make it nice and smooth. Then I'm going in with MakeupGeek Cherry Cola. You could use a purple here. You could use any dark brown. You could use black. Use what you want. I just really wanted to use this color. And I'm going to take a MAC 221 brush just to kind of bust this all even lower in the crease in the Cocoa Bear. I'm going to put this color all over my lid, so if I work it into my crease, I find it's way, way, way easier to blend out your lid color into your crease if you kind of lay it down as a transition color, as opposed to building that color up all over your lid and then bringing it up and then somehow trying to blend it out. I don't know, it's just how I do it. It's a million times easier as far as I'm concerned. And then I'm just going to take a 242 brush from MAC and, like I said, start working that cherry cola all over my lid. You see how it's already blended up into my crease area? All I had to do was pack it on my lid and it was done. Then I'm taking MakeupGeek Corrupt and this weird brush I got from Palladio at Sally's Beauty Supply a million years ago that I use all the time, just to poke some black on that outer corner, and I'm going to slowly blend it out with some more cherry cola. I just wanted to bring some depth to that outer corner. Then taking Too Faced Shower Shadow Insurance Glitter Glue, I'm just going to lay this all over my lid with that 242 brush because I'm going to go in with a pigment in a second, and this is really the best way to get pigments and glitters to stay adhered to your lid and not crease. I'm taking Stila's Vintage Black Gold. This is actually an eyeshadow, and I'm going to put this all over my lid. You could totally use just this, or you could use just the pigment I'm going in with next, but I really love to layer them on top of each other because I think it looks so beautiful, but you absolutely do not need both. I'm just patting it all over my lid, and I'm kind of carving it out into that crease. I don't want to cover up all my transition colors. I really want to have a nice defined lid. Then I'm going to take MakeupGeek Utopia. I depotted mine in case you're wondering. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm just going to pat that all over the color we already laid down. And as you can see, it just looks super metallic and wet and gorgeous. I don't have a defined crease, so I have to lay my brush kind of sideways and carve it out like this. It doesn't look really good right now, but I promise when I'm done, it will. You just kind of have to stick it out when you're doing looks like this, because pretty much the whole time I was doing this, I was kind of like, I don't like it. It's not turning out right. But by the time I was finished, it all came together. So just trust the process. And then I'll deepen up that outer corner a little bit more just to give it some nice contrast and dimension on that outer corner because I wanted it to be really smoky. Next, I'm going to clean up underneath my eye using a wipe. I got a lot of fallout, which is why I did my eyes first, although technically kind of always do my eyes first. And then I'm just going to sharpen up that edge as well while I'm at it. Then I'm going to take the Tarteist Tarte. It's a clay paint liner. It's what I've been using lately as my liner. Putting liner over top of this pigment situation was kind of a nightmare. I'm not gonna lie. It took a really long time. And I wasn't even like going for a crazy wing or anything. I just wanted something to kind of hide my eyelash band that I was gonna go in with later. It just wasn't working. So I had to go in a couple times, but I did tightline my eyes. And isn't this shot so horrifying? I cannot watch myself do this. I can't tightline any other way though, so sorry if it just skeeves you out a little bit. After that, I'm going to curl my lashes to prepare them for the false lashes that I'm going in with next. You can skip false lashes if you want to, and I actually don't do false lashes right away because I was worried about transfer. It didn't end up transferring at all, but I was kind of worried about it, so I wanted to really give that pigment on my lid a chance to kind of dry and set. But I did go ahead and do my mascara. I use the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I really, really like this mascara. It's really black. It makes your lashes really, really thick, and it does lengthen them as well. I used to not care too much about mascara, but lately I have kind of been... Sorry, this is so blurry, by the way. There's a lot of blurry footage. I'm really sorry. I don't know what happened. Then I'm taking the PIXI Hydrating Milky Mist. I think I like this even better than the Glow Mist. And I'm just going to spray this all over my face to kind of give it a little bit of hydration to prepare it for my makeup application going in next. Then I'm going to take the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Primer. You guys heard me talk about this in my most recent favorites video. I do really, really like this primer. It's extremely silky. It makes your skin really smooth and hydrated. And I don't know if I can say whether or not it actually makes my makeup last a whole lot longer. But I do like the way my makeup looks on top of it. And I do really like the way it feels on my skin altogether. Then I'm going to go in the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Primer. This is more or less my actual like texture smoothing pore minimizing primer. I'm going to put this only in the areas of my face that I feel like I have my largest of pores, which is right there on my cheek area, on my forehead, a little bit on my nose, and then I actually pop a little bit on my chin. Don't ask me why I'm two different colors. It's because I liquid exfoliate every day and I just spray tanned. Then I'm taking the Too Faced Born This Way foundation on my 3D HD Kabuki brush from Sigma. This isn't actually the color I should have used. I have a darker one that I should have used. So at first, my face and my body are still going to look like they're totally different colors as this process goes on. Later on, I will fix it with bronzer and with contour, but just bear with me in the beginning when it looks like I'm just like a million different colors. I don't know. I was having a little bit of off day with my complexion here for a second. But yeah, I'm just going to work that all over my skin with my brush. I love this foundation. I talk about it all the time. You guys know this one and the Urban Decay Naked Skin are my most used foundations. And I love using a brush with it, especially this brush, because I feel like it gives me the most full coverage with the most minimum amount. It makes no sense, Whitney. With the least amount of product, it does a good job of absorbing the product and dispensing it correctly, but I will hit it with a beauty blender just to be safe after I lay down that foundation to make sure that I absorb any excess product and that my application is smooth and seamless. Then I'm going to take the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, and I'm just going to start working this concealer in all the areas of my face that I always highlight and conceal. I've actually been kind of into going in with a brighter concealer. I think for a long time I was kind of doing something that was a little bit more, I don't know, chill and a little bit closer to the color of my foundation, like maybe a scotch lighter, but lately I've been kind of into that like circa 2013, 2012. Ultra bright highlight situation. So I don't know. Do what you want. Do what you want. Do what you want. Then I'm gonna blend it out, sauerkraut, taking my beauty blender. Actually, this is a Real Technique sponge. I'm gonna softly blend this out all underneath my eye. And then one trick, if you feel like your smoky eye got away with you and came in too close, take an eyeshadow brush with a little bit of your concealer and kind of wrap it around to make sure that it's not too messy. This is one of the easiest ways to clean up your smoky eye. Just a tip, thought I'd throw it in there. And I'm going to continue blending it out with that beauty blender like I do in every single video I've ever posted in all of the world since I've been on YouTube. Check out the rest of my videos if you're curious. Then I'm taking the Kat Von D Shade Light Contour Kit, and I'm going to take the banana color, and I'm just going to work this all over my face in the areas that I just highlighted with this Sephora Pro Blush Brush. It is intended to be a blush brush, but I use it as a face brush. I use it to set areas of my face, and I also use it to dust away cooking powder. I mean, I've had this brush for like 2 years, and I find a million ways to use it all the time. Then I'm going in with the Smashbox Bronze Lights Bronzer. I'm using this one because it's like the darkest, most red tone one that I have, and I'm trying to use this to make my face match my chest and my neck area. So I actually went a little hamburgers with my bronzer today. I mean, I blended it out and added a lot more than you're actually going to see in this video, but I feel like this is the only thing I could do to make my face match my body. Then I took the Kat Von D Shade Light Contour Kit again, and I took this brush from Sigma. I can't remember the name of it. I'll leave it here on the screen to contour the very back of my cheekbones. I really wanted a super structured contour, and I love this brush to do that. It gives me a nice sharp contour, but it's not harsh at the same time, if that makes any sense. I ran a little bit along my forehead and my chin, and then I started contouring my nose. I thought I'd show you guys how I do this really quick. This isn't exactly like an in-depth tutorial. But I take a MAC 217 and a little bit of my contour shade, and I just run it along the edge of my nose at the bottom because that's the part that I feel is the biggest. And I shade my nostrils because it's where I feel like it's the widest. I try not to put too much saturation of pigment or color up on the very, very like slender part of my nose, which is like the top part, because it's already thin enough and there's really no need. I really just try to keep it down and at the bottom to the best of my ability. Then I'm going to take some cooking powder. This is a Laura Mercier loose powder, and I'm going to press this all over the side of my nose and down the bridge of my nose. This is really the only place I'm going to cook on my face except for underneath my cheek contour. I want to reverse contour my nose, which means I'm bringing way more light than I'm adding shadow. And then I take a clean brush and just kind of dust away all of the areas that I don't want to highlight, which is the sides of my nose. Then I'm going to take this fluffy brush, this eyeshadow brush from Sigma. It's really fluffy, just to kind of sharply lay down where I want my contour situation to go. And after I do that, I will take a beauty blender to kind of fill in the area. But this little fluffy brush from Sigma definitely helps me make sure I get a nice clean straight line. Then I'm going to go in with Cherry Cola and Cocoa Bear mixed together on this Sigma brush just to kind of start smoking out my lower lash line. Every time I lay down a color, I go in with a bigger brush and blend out that color to make sure it's really, really nice and smoky on that lower lash line area. You guys know the lower lash line is like my favorite part of my makeup tutorial. Then I'm going to take this black eyeliner and start really, really laying this down thickly inside my waterline and a little bit below. And then I'll take the Sigma E21 brush with some black eyeshadow to smudge that out even further. I wanted this to be really, really smoky underneath my lash line. And then taking a 212 brush, which is really, really thin and small, to push that black shadow even closer to my lash line. And then I'll blend it out one more time. After I get done blending out underneath my eye area, I will go in and lay down a pretty hefty amount of lower lash mascara. I love lower lashes, so I never skip this step. A lot of people don't like it. I think that it really kind of lends nicely to the smoky lash line, but as always, do what you want. Then I'm taking the Eylure Luxe Gilded lashes. These are my favorite super fancy schmancy lashes right now. I'm just going to take some tweezers to pop these as close to my lash line as possible. These lashes are extremely long and dramatic, and I absolutely love wearing them with smoky looks like this. And I even like wearing thick lashes with stuff like this because I feel like when I blink, it's like a light shining. You see what I'm saying? Like, most people are like, oh, you're covering up your eye look. But I'm like, no, it's like a surprise when I blink. I don't know. Then I'm dusting away all this cooking powder with that same blush brush, OMG, tongue-tied, from Sephora that I used earlier to make sure it's all gone. Yeah. Then I'm taking this blush from Tarte. This is the color Sensual. It was in my favorites as well. Because it's neutral and because it's warm, I knew that it was going to bring a nice flush of color to the skin without being too much or competing with everything else that I have going on right now. Then I'm taking the MakeupGeek highlighter in the color Daybreak. I absolutely love it on my Sigma FO3 brush to highlight my cheekbones. And then after I got done doing my cheekbones, I started doing my nose. I just kind of take a little tiny brush and I do the very tip of it and the very bridge of it. And as you can see, this act alone makes my nose look a lot slimmer without adding a crap ton of contour and brown shades around my nose. I think this is a lot more natural way to get a slim contoured nose effect. Just my opinion. Add a little more highlighter, and then I'm going to slightly douse myself in the Urban Decay Chill Makeup Setting Spray, just to kind of set everything with some nice hydration. And then taking the Makeup Forever number 12 lip liner. They just sent me all these lip liners in the mail like the day before I filmed this, and I absolutely love them. I love the formula, and I love that you can sharpen them with a pencil sharpener. I don't like self-sharpening ones because I feel like the tip will not stay nice and sharp and easy to work with. Then taking both of these Too Faced Melted Matte lips, I'm starting off with the color this is Cool Girl all over the lips. And then after I get Cool Girl all over the lips, I will kind of blend together a little bit of Child Star, which made it a little bit lighter. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will catch you in the next one. Bye!
1, 2, 3